What's good, boys? Welcome to episode 2 of Road to my first payout on my funded futures. So this video is going to be a little more different than the first one. It's not going to be a vlog style vid. It's going to be a recap of what happened today and yesterday in the markets, what I made, what I lost, what's currently going on, and how I'm helping myself get better, man. Let's get right into it. I'm not even going to waste no time. Let's hop right on the chart. All right, boys, we're here on the charts. So yesterday was the big crash, 600-point crash of NASDAQ because of all the DeepSeek and OpenAI stuff going on. So we ended up actually trading that for shorts. Took 2 dubs in the nighttime. One dub was around like $300, something like that. And I was just like, let me get out of this. It would have hit more. I took TP1. I'm gonna get into all the specifics of what I need to be doing better to be able to like actually achieve this goal that I got, or just to perform my trades good, because my analysis tends to be right most of the time when I actually sit there and take my trades. So big fair value gap, getting in on the bounce off of this is very unlikely to reverse. It's basically what the market wants to do. It wants to fill this imbalance, right? Most of the time when it's this big, it really just does respect it. Unless it comes in inverses, then I would have taken a bullish setup on the way up to fill this imbalance. It formed a fair value gap, which is just when price moves up too quick, it forms a gap between the candles. So we had this 3-minute inversion of a fair value gap right here after the liquidity sweep to the upside right here, and then it came up into the zone, which, like I said, it was very likely to bounce off of this and retrace to the downside. And then it came and did the inversion. I really could have gotten in here, but I low-key hesitated a little bit. I was really just trying to stay really patient with this setup right here because I didn't want to get caught up in no bad entry, because I could have entered here and then I would have been in drawdown a good 20 points. Also, this is during the morning time. This is like 2 in the morning, or not 2 in the morning, it's like 12. My full TP was down here. If it's gonna continue being bearish, it's more than likely gonna sweep this lower low. So this is where I put my TP. I put my TP1 here so I could secure profits. Honestly, I was questioning it right here, but I stayed in the trade. And then it also came and inversed another fair value gap. I guess for me, it worked like a double inversion. So that was my confirmation to stay in the trade. And then once it hit this, honestly, Asia's session moved so slow that I just wanted to get up out of there. So I got out, right? I was supposed to follow my plan and just trail it, but instead I just completely exited the trade. So that was trade number 1 on Monday. This is the second trade. This was a 2 in the morning. I was trading Asia that night, because if you looked at the first episode, you would know that price action for that week was horrible. Right? After this big dip in the market, price action starting to get better, as you're gonna see from the price action from today. I actually ended up cashing in about like $1,000 for this trade, for about 56 points, something like that. Still bearish because we're still dumping in the market. I'm just waiting for another confirmation to get in at this point. We had this fair value gap that it respected. It tapped into this fair value gap. It respected it. If I zoom it in like this, you can see that it clearly did inverse it. So that was my entry. I originally had stops above the high right here, and then I just minimized my risk as we went on. This trade got hit pretty quickly in about 2 candles. I pretty much got out at the bottom of this move, so I wasn't really tripping on that one. That was like $1,000 trade right there. Right? So those were the 2 trades for Monday. Today I came in, I woke up, it was fresh off the wake up, I'm not gonna lie. I saw this setup as soon as I got on the charts. Swept the old liquidity, and then I was seeing these rejections, right? On the 3-minute, it doesn't really look like a rejection, but on the 5-minute, it does. Right, you see these wicks rejecting off the bottom after move down, and we inversed this for value. I didn't get in on this. I actually got in on this move late because I was sitting on my laptop, and it inversed this one, and I was like, all right, there's another one. I'm gonna wait for that one to inverse, and then I'm gonna get in. I got in, I caught a quick 40 points or something like that, and I was out for like $600 on one contract. And this one, I also didn't let it go to its full TP. I don't know why. I should have. Honestly, I should just went break even as soon as I was at a good point and let it go to TP. That's really the 3rd time that I let that happen. So that's obviously something that I got to get better at, and that's something that I'm journaling currently to just get it through my mind, because I'll explain why. I'll explain to you guys why this is happening to me, or why I'm doing this in a little bit. But once I took this trade, I tried to take another trade off the continuation, got stopped out. Then I tried to take another trade long off of, I think it was a 15-minute inversion, but the 30-minute failed to inverse. So then I was thinking it was going to reverse. off of there. I was waiting for this, and I didn't wait for a solid confirmation. I think there was an inversion on the 1 minute right here, which made me want to take this. But as soon as I got in on this position right here of this inversion, it came and rejected, and then on the 3 minute and the 5 minute, it really just shot back up, so it wasn't even valid. So, and then the crazy part about it is that my laptop actually died while I was in this trade, and I didn't put my stop loss yet. So I was rushing to get my trading view going, and then didn't let me log in on my trading view. Then I had to log in on Tradeovate and eventually get taken out. But overall, today I successfully managed to erase all of my progress. I'm at 49,907, so I'm practically break even on the account after being up 1,600. This first trade was great. I can't even lie to you guys. This first trade was great, and I honestly could have been in on this move way earlier. I took my 600. I really could have took 1,000 had I just let it go to my TP, but I took 600. I could have been done for the day. The other ones I didn't take due to over trading or just FOMO or anything like that. I generally saw my setup on one of them. The other one, I tried to take off a continuation. I should have waited for a pullback. I took it at the very top of the move. So I think it was right around here, like at the very top. I took it because of this inversion, honestly, which ended up working as well. The second loss wasn't even a bad trade either because it did inverse on the 5 minute. So we had the initial inversion, and then that was on my first trade. Then I got back in on my second trade because we inversed this one. But I caught the worst entry. I literally caught it at the top of the move. If I would have had a proper stop loss, which would have been right around here, still would have been a 50-point drawdown, which 50 points, I mean, I could pretty much show you what it would have been. My drawdown would have been $1,000, which would have worked out if I would have held even to here. Honestly, I would have had to wait for the whole move to make a substantial amount, but I'm not comfortable risking that amount on prop firm's account, especially when I'm just trying to pass the eval, right? I don't have no capital built into it. 1,600, that would have erased everything. And I honestly just wasn't comfortable risking that amount. So I had an improper stop loss, which has been a repeated story with me. But honestly, I think it was just a bad entry. I could have waited for a pullback, and if it left without me, then I should have just let it leave, you know. And I did kind of chase this one a little bit, I gotta admit. So overall on today, we took 3 trades, lost 2, won 1, and I'm break even on the account now, which is fine. Like, I have no problem getting it back, but this has been the longest that I've had an account, an evaluation account for a minute, which I don't really like that though. I don't like being on an eval account for so long. I like being able to just pass the accounts quick, but maybe this is just a test for me to just have my patience, follow my rules, stay disciplined, and pass the account because I'm on the starter plus, and basically on the starter plus, you have a 50% consistency rule. So if I wanted to take a big trade and just pass it in one day, I couldn't even do that. I have to take 2 trades of 1,500, and yeah, man, honestly, this is the longest that I've had an account for in a long time, since like I first started trading. To me, it's not a problem that I'm back at break even because I know I could come back and pass the evaluation. I'm honestly a little glad that this is happening just because I'm now finally able to start getting into the flow of trading and not have so many emotions mixed in that I'm blowing accounts every single day and doing this and that. So I'm on one account, I'm trading consistently, I'm sticking to my plan, I'm staying disciplined, and I'm trying to follow my rules as best as I can. Today, I did kind of chase a trade, which led me to not get the best entry. It was still my setup, it's just on a 5 minute, so obviously it's gonna be bigger drawdown, and I'm just not comfortable risking that type of amount right now. So maybe I should have waited for another confirmation on a smaller time frame and then manage my stop loss better that way, right? For me now, I'm starting to conquer that emotional aspect, that psychological aspect of having FOMO and blowing these accounts off emotional and over leveraging and stuff like that, because I've been journaling consistently, sharpening my mind up and getting stronger in that aspect, right? Today, as you can see, I kind of chased the trade. Not really, it was my setup, but it was on the 5 minutes, so the drawdown is bigger. I had already taken a dub, so if I was gonna take another trade, what I need to start doing is just taking my A+ setup after I already took a winning trade. If I already took a winning trade, 600, 700, 800, whatever it is, $500 for the day, I'm cool off that, right? Just be a little more patient, wait for the right setup to happen, because it happened like 2 or 3 more times after that, after it went through its little range and consolidation. And instead of me just wanting to get in on the move now because I see it, I could just wait for a better move to happen, because there was better moves than that one to catch, right? Especially after I had just caught one and I was trying to catch the continuation on another inversion, right? So that didn't really help me at all. Second point is managing my stop loss. And when I say managing my stop loss, I don't mean about putting it at the right point. This is more so when I have a winning trade, I'm up in profit, and I start trailing it when I'm not supposed to. What I need to be doing is just leaving it at break even. And if I'm already up on the account and I'm comfortable with risking that amount, I need to just let my play work out, right? I need to let my trade work out and go to my TP instead of just trailing it for the fear that it's gonna come reverse. And that stems from trading so many Apex accounts that have that live trailing drawdown, where I would have to just exit the position to secure my profit because they trail unrealized profits. On my funded futures, they trail end of day and realized profits. Apex, whatever you make is trailing you in the moment. So if I make 1,000 and my trade comes back down to break even, bro, my drawdown is only like 500 more bucks before the account is blown. So I need to I'm gonna take a break from Apex accounts at the moment. I'm gonna only be trading on my funded futures or Top Step if I decide to go back to Top Step, but somewhere that has a end of day trailing drawdown, because that's honestly been playing with me. And I need to just wait to hop on Apex once I start getting consistent and getting payouts so I could do multiple accounts. Really, that's the only thing that Apex for me is good for, is when you're copy trading accounts. So that's exactly what I'm gonna wait for. But yeah, I need to just put my stop at break even. Once it's break even, it's either gonna work out or I'm not gonna lose money. That's it. If there's a reason to why I'm getting out of the trade, then I'll get out. But if there's no reason and I'm just kind of panicking because I don't want it to come reverse on me, then I need to just stay in the trade. I need to go break even when it's a good time to break even. Not when I just feel like it. I need to just analyze the charts, what's going on, and not so much of the price and how much I'm winning and how much I'm losing if I'm in drawdown. Just let my trades work out, because I say 90% of the times when I sit there and I analyze a trade and I go in for a trade, my TP tends to get hit. 90% of the time. Now, whether I move my stop loss and I get taken out that trade before it happens, or I go break even, or I take the profit earlier, then that's my fault, right? But the move tends to work, and it pretty much always goes to my TP. Those are the two main points. If I'd had to say a third one, I think it'd just be being more patient, just not trying to rush it. Just once I take my good trade, just be more patient, wait for a really good setup to happen. There's going to be opportunities every single day in the market, with some exceptions, of course, but I need to just be patient, wait for my setup to happen, and wait for my A+ setups, because once my A+ setups come in, I can even size up a little bit on my contracts because I'm so confident in them. And if those don't work out, then they just didn't work out. I wasn't right in my analysis. But I tend to be really good with my analysis. I tend to be really good at sniping my trades, and I tend to be really good at knowing where it's gonna go to next, right? We never really know, but you have your level set out and you have points of liquidity where you could target, and my targets tend to always get hit when I'm in trades, or even when I'm not in trades and I just analyze it. I'm really good at that. The only thing that has been holding me back has been these few little things, right? So the main thing, or the last thing that I would say, is just being more patient and waiting for my A+ setups to come in so I could really just catch them and not have to really have these multiple trades. Because honestly, once I start doing these two things, right? Once I start letting my trades go to full TP, I don't even have to take another trade. The only reason I'm taking another trade is because I feel like I didn't get enough on that first trade. Even though it's $600-700 bucks on a trade, I feel like I messed up, right? It went to my TP and it was my fault. So now I need to come and get back in on another trade. And not for any reason, of course. I see something that makes me get in the trade and I get into that, but it honestly wasn't a good setup, like you guys saw on the chart, right? It was like a C setup when I could have just waited maybe an hour, right? I could have maybe just waited 1 more hour and caught an A+ setup. Once I have that patience and I start letting my trades go to full TP, I don't even think there's another reason for me to take another trade in the day, because I'll be up 1,500, maybe 2,000 on a good trade. So there's no reason to give back profits, right? Other than that though, that's it for this episode. This one's quick, concise, straight to the point. Just showing you guys the progress of these past 2 days. I want to start doing this every single day as consistently as I can so I can show you guys what's really going on and stay transparent. But it's a little hard if I do them like how I did that first episode, right? Because I'm having to vlog the whole day, and by the end of the day, it's going to take me a while to edit that. All right, but if I make them quick, concise like this, and I show you guys the progress, and I show you guys the trades that I'm going to be taking. I haven't been home, that's why I'm not live streaming, but if I show you guys the trades that I'm going to be taking like this on a day-to-day basis, I definitely feel like I could do this every day for you guys, with some exceptions. Of course, I'm not perfect, and I do be busy sometimes with my business stuff, but I'm not gonna get into that. So I've been trying to just stay locked in and focused with all my journaling, doing what I have to do, writing down, really just being, I guess, woke about what it is that I'm doing, being in the moment, and being able to self-analyze what's going on in my head, how am I feeling, why am I taking this trade, and things of that nature. So this is definitely beneficial to each and every one of you guys, whether you do it here, whether you do it on TradeZella, whether you do it on your laptop, on your notes, wherever it is that you decide to journal and recap your trades. If you're screen recording yourself, then you can recap like that. What I like to do is, I don't know if you guys saw the green and red markers that I have marked out, right? Green for winning trades, red for losing trades, obviously. I didn't do it this week, right? But next week I'm gonna start doing it again. Normally I go on TradingView. Once I mark it out, whether it's green, whether it's red, I write out why I took that trade, what was the reason. Then at the end of the week, I do a review. So after the end of next week, I'm gonna definitely do a full end of week review with you guys. It'll probably be a longer video, but that's definitely another good way to recap your trades and journal everything that you got going on, so you can have a visual representation of where you went wrong, what you did. If you have to backtest just to tweak a couple things with your strategy, you're gonna start adding new stuff, or you just completely start trading a new way. Like for example, if you're trading ICT and then you go trade supply and demand, then of course you gotta backtest, because there's no point of losing your real money buying these prop firms accounts if you don't even know the strategy works here, right? You need a backtest, see your win rate percentage, how comfortable are you taking these trades, and how good is your edge when you're seeing these trades. Can you see it good? Can you see it effectively? And are you gonna be comfortable sitting throughout a trade once you do take your setup? That's basically it though for this episode, boys. I'll catch y'all in the next one.